So what we're going to do for this exercise is we're going to create another widget template, but this time it's going to be to control the presentation of our navigation. This is one of the nice things with Liferay DXP. We do have control over the navigation widget, which is embedded into our pages by using these widget templates. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive right in here and open up our vertical navigation FTL file in our exercises. So I'll go ahead and open this up. And we're just going to go ahead and use the snippets that we added in the last exercise. So to start, let's go ahead and highlight this top comment here to insert the 6th snippet. We're going to type in LFR. If you need to, you can do -widget as well to make sure this distinguishes these snippets from the Module 2 snippets if you are coming from Module 2. And we're going to go ahead and choose the 6th snippet. This is similar to our last widget template. In our last widget template, we started with an if-else statement. And we needed something at the top to basically say if there are no entries, so in this case no pages, we have some sort of message that there are no pages. So we've added that here at the top just to start. Now let's go ahead and add in some of our additional code here. So in the else statement here, you should see actually towards the bottom our 7th snippet code comment here. So we'll go ahead and highlight that, type in LFR. And we're going to choose the 7th snippet, which is our navigation macro that we've added here. So this is going to be the starting point for the rest of our template. So we've just added the macro here for our navigation. What we're going to do here is we're going to build out the macro, make sure we can get all the navigation pages, their links, the child menu, if there is a child menu there, and then we can go ahead and use the macro right above. So let's go ahead and highlight the 8th snippet section here. Type in LFR. Again, if necessary, you can do -widget, and then choose that 8th snippet. This is going to give us our assignments for the nav items, so we want those nav links. So here what we want to do is we want to add our assignment and an if statement. These basically give us the CSS styling for the links, and if we hover over it so that we can show it as active. And then we can go ahead and come down here into the list here for the nav items. We want to go ahead and add an if statement that is checking for all of the child pages within our navigation menu. So go ahead and type in LFR here. We're going to choose the 9th snippet. So this gives us an if-else statement that basically gives us the ability to provide a collapsible navigation for our child pages. So what we want to do next is we want to go ahead and add some of our clay icons here to make sure that the collapsible navigation has that consistent look and feel from the clay components. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. Now in the exercise steps here, you can feel free to go ahead and type this out if you'd like. You can see what the final section should look like here once you're done typing. I'm just going to go ahead and use the optional snippet this time. So I'm going to choose LFR, choose the 10th snippet here, and this gives me those icons. Okay, so you can see the clay icon macro here for the right caret, and then the caret bottom macro here as well. And then I'm going to come down to this second div here, and I want to go ahead and add a macro for displaying the navigation child items, or rather the child pages that show up in the navigation. So here again, you can go to type this out. I'm going to go ahead and use the optional snippet here. I'm going to choose the 11th snippet. It gives me a list, and it allows me to use the build navigation macro. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and actually use our newly created macro here. So we have this as the build navigation. We're using that here for the nav items. So we're having all of that set up here. And we're going to go ahead and make use of this up top for the actual display of our navigation. So let's go ahead and use the 12th and last snippet of this section. And this will give us our nav div structure. So we're using some classes for the menu bar. We're using the theme display API to get the different pages as well as their names. We're using some of those clay icon macros here again. And then ultimately down here, what we're doing is we're basically within this list using the build navigation macro that we just created. So everything is set up here and we're running it here. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and either save this or copy the code. And we want to go ahead and add this to our platform. So just like we did before, we can come to our site. If you're not logged in, go ahead and log in now. We can go to Site Builder and Widget Templates. We're going to go ahead and click on Add at the top here. We'll see our list of widget templates here. You should see navigation menu template here. Go ahead and click on that. We're going to call this one vertical navigation template for the name. And if you saved it, what you can do is you can actually choose the file here. If you copied the code, you can go ahead and paste it in like we did in the last exercise. So this time I saved it, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Choose File, or you might see Browse, depending on your operating system. And I'm going to choose vertical navigation.ftl. Open that up, scroll down, and click Save. Now let's go ahead and actually change the navigation on our site. So I'm going to click Go to Site. We have the options menu here in the navigation menu, so we can go ahead and do that. Click on Configuration. You should see Display Template here. We can go to click on this, and we will see our vertical navigation template at the bottom. So let's go ahead and click Save, and we are good to go. We can go ahead and close the pop-up here, and we can see our navigation changed. Now with the Livingston theme, you may not see the carrots here because there's some conflicts with the Livingston theme. So what you can do is you can turn the Livingston theme off. So we can go ahead and go to Pages, Configuration, change theme, and just go back to the classic theme. And click Save. Go to Site. So we see our navigation here. We have our 2 pages. If you'd like, you can do some of those bonus exercises, and you can go ahead and add some new pages, and you can see how it sort of builds out from there. So that wraps up Module 3. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you in the next module.